Blossoming flower.
Hey, this is Trying Harder, episode 1, our inaugural episode. This episode is brought to you by ColoradoMusicConnection.com. Find reviews, interviews, CDs, and more at ColoradoMusicConnection.com. Go check them out.
We're going to introduce ourselves now.
I'm Gweedo.
I'm Doc.
So, we're just going to kick this guy off. We're going to be talking about numerous topics. Mostly, I think, music-related is the goal of the podcast, but we're always going to stray.
Tangents are where we go sometimes, so bear with us.
Yeah, and we got a laundry list of things to talk about. So let's do a little of this.
We wanna open this particular segment with a tribute to the rock and roll gods. So
alright, look, man. This is fantastic. I hate to promote too much things, especially because we're not sponsored by any means, but Captain Morgan has started to dabble a little bit more.
I didn't know this till today. It's not just spiced rum anymore.
No! And this is my particular favorite. Well, I guess one of them, because Private Stock is delectable.
Let me see that. Like, it's skulls and skeletons and shit. And I have a certain soft spot for this, because, and visually speaking, in terms of advertisement, because my wife, who is just the most beautiful, just sexy woman,
I can't disagree.
A great just skull tattoo on her calf.
What?
And you don't know? I haven't seen that.
It's her calf. It's not like it's something.
I understand.
I should have seen
I'm
that.
privileged.
Anyway.
I don't mean to sound pompous or anything stupid like that.
Just take a shot.
Just please shut the fuck
put
up.
it to your lips. Put it to your lips.
Guys, we wanna attribute this particular shot or swig to the upcoming event in which we're about ready to embark on. And it's a big one for me, and we'll explain why in a minute here. And this guy is a veteran now. Is it fair to say
I
that?
am considered a veteran.
A veteran.
I would say I'm a veteran. So, we're taking a little bit Captain Morgan, just to cap that off.
Swig it down.
Limited edition.
They don't care about that.
Do it. Sherry.
Actually, it's so
Sherry
good.
Oakfin, amazing.
It's really good.
Do it.
Just shut your fucking mouth and drink it. Again, kids should be out of the car. Or wherever you're listening to this.
Oh, this isn't alcohol.
Oh, that isn't what I thought it was.
This is Kool-Aid. It's so amazing. Anywho, Shiprocked.
And so this is a weak point for me because years ago, he and I were Gweed here and I were intended to go on a cruise, and
this was going to be our first adventure.
2011, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good one. Good call.
And I know this because I took that shit job at the time, and which I recently resigned from, and
good job.
Yeah, thank you. And this is he's been for 2 years now without me, and it's not his fault, it's mine, naturally. And this is the first time I've been able to attend the event, and we're leaving tomorrow for port. And I am so fucking excited. It's like you said. It's like Rock Jam, only grown up bigger, because now you're on the boat, the floating hotel, right? And it's nothing but rock and roll day in and day out. And this is your life.
I want to attribute it to Rock Jam because Rock Jam, it's one of those things.
It's a marathon. It's a half marathon.
Well, okay.
It's a half marathon.
We train for Rock Jam.
We do. Drinking
now,
wise.
Rock Jam has become
and education by the Audible.
It's become a stepping stone to Shiprocked because it's not for the faint of heart. Like, if you're gonna embrace what is Rock Jam, you need to know how to put a couple of these down and not lose your shit.
Yep.
We're not saying that you're an alcoholic. It's just that every once in a while.
We're saying we are.
Yes. It's just one of those things where, like, it's a couple days that you just don't give a shit.
You don't. I mean,
just
it's
do
in the
what
desert.
you're gonna do.
You have no contact with anybody.
And the only difference is, like, you take that and you put it on a boat. But, like,
and you double it.
Yeah, and you just don't fall overboard because that's a scary thing.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it. But it's one of those things I will never, from this point forward, if I can, never miss a Rock Jam because of the experience. I'm going to turn that into, like, a Shiprocked. Like, the people are great. The concert is fantastic. The first year, I feel like this is almost my first year because the last two was on a different boat. I got in a different town, so we started all over because we upgraded. Like, everybody heard about Shiprocked. It's fantastic. So now we got a bigger boat, different town.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. Yeah. It's gonna be fucking fantastic. So we have a lot of classics on there and some new guys too. And that's the great part about a boat. These rock festivals on a boat are awesome because they do promote a lot of new talent, and we're going to talk about a few of these. And the things we know and the things we don't, and the things that you might want to pitch in on. We'd really like to hear your opinions.
And we don't know everything.
We're going to follow up
when
we're off the cruise. We're going to talk more about this and how this goes for us. So let's talk about the line.
So, okay.
We have a little sheet.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess this up. I'm going to try not to.
We're not going to fuck this up.
So, this is the second time that Five Finger Death Punch has made an appearance on the boat.
And I want to talk about them.
I wish you would.
I am less than a huge fan.
And I just found this out this evening.
I'm less than a huge fan, and here's why. I think the band has a lot of talent. I think they're good. And I just feel like, I feel like they went a little bit over the top. I'm not saying they don't have talent. I'm not saying they don't have good songs. I'm just saying, I'm more of a... My origination in music respects the lines. The interesting follows a little bit of a Bob Marley trend. There was an attempt on Bob Marley's life before a political event where he was to give a free concert. And he was shot across the chest. And across. Not in, but across. And it grazed his chest. And he had bandmates and friends killed. And in an interview following, they said, Robert, you know that they'll try on your life again. And he said, what must be will be. Yeah, what must be will be. And I love that for a few reasons. He had a love of music, and he had a passion, and he had a message. And that is something I hold very dear in all musical endeavors. And I'm not saying I'm a musician, but when I listen to music, these are the principles that I extract from. I don't feel that Five Finger Death Punch offers such messages. And I'm not saying the same message, but I don't feel they offer something other than like the scared kid that is sick of being beat up or whatever, which, hey, and it's not their fault, but I feel like there's so much angst and anger in their music, and I like hardcore music. I love it. I just don't like their message. Talk to me. Hit me. Tell me.
I see your opinion. I personally am a Five Finger Death Punch fan. Obviously, like, Denver is a solid fan base of theirs because Ivan Moody was in a local band for a long time.
From Colorado Springs.
And they get lots of support from local KBPI 106.7 radio station, Willie B in particular. And I do like them a lot. Right now, they're Vegas-based. This, like I mentioned a little bit before, this is going to be their second time on Shiprocked. I've done 2 very in-depth reviews of their latest CDs last year. In my personal opinion, they rock hard, they rock a lot. They were able to put out 2 CDs in 1 year. They had so much pent-up music that they were able to release 2 full CDs, and bands will do that, and there's filler. I don't think there was 1 ounce of filler on either of these CDs. So, if you want to check that out, go to ColoradoMusicConnection.com. I did reviews on them, fantastic reviews. The most interesting fact is on one of...
And I'll say this, I'm going to interrupt you, is, my approach to music is not one that I forecast to be for everybody. It's, a lot of people just like to listen to music for music. They just, they get in the moment. They like to just listen to the rhythm, and the lyrics don't necessarily mean anything. It's a tempo-based...
Where there's a lot of that electronic music that people just kind of rave to.
It's an exhilarating kind of a feel, which I do believe Five Finger Death Punch possesses.
They bring a lot of energy.
And that's a big part of it. They do. They bring a lot of energy, and I don't discount them for that. And when I say I'm not a fan, I don't mean that and that I disrespect them. I simply mean that and that I have a certain following in music, and it doesn't necessarily mean... And there are bands that I stray from that objective as well. Again, I'm a Hinder fan.
Right.
You know, I mean, they don't necessarily preach the best messages either. I can agree with certain parts of the lyrical aspect, and I like the way they sound. You know, and Five Finger Death Punch is a lot of people, especially kids, you know, that just like the way it sounds. And at the same time, in our earlier conversations, you had mentioned, for instance, they do pay tribute to the military, which in many of their songs. I don't like the ones that are so personalized with, you know, the one that starts off with, you heard about the one being me being a punk or whatever.
Yeah.
That one, you know, is superficial. It's extremely...
It was more addressing like,
shallow,
some of the rumors.
Right, and I understand that. It's literally about, you're talking shit about me, and this is my response.
That music video,
but they
hilarious.
It is hilarious. They do pay a very valuable, I feel, tribute to the troops as well, which I can appreciate. Which I can very much appreciate.
I believe that Ivan was in some faction of the military. I think. Don't quote me on that. From my military friends, I believe that is true. But overall, they have a very military-heavy message in some of the lyrics.
A love for.
Because a lot of close friends and family are in the military, and they constantly go to support the troops, play concerts for the troops, and you have to always appreciate that. Regardless the band, those kids need entertainment too.
And they're putting it out there on, at a very discounted rate per their usual. And you have to understand, we as the norm, you know, we don't know the kind of things that this band goes through and what they have. You know, Ivan wasn't always with this band; he was with another band prior to this out of Colorado Springs for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, they found their niche. And you know, props to them for that.
Fun fact, if you pick up the Wrong Side of Heaven, Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 2, the song Cold is actually a cover of his former band in Colorado Springs. So it's a little fun. You'd find that out on the review. I'm wondering, like, when I listen to CDs, I go in depth. I question whether you've actually picked up on the message. I can totally see that's one of those bands, superficially, you just drink it in and you're like, oh, they're just like every other band. Sure. I'm hoping we can turn this kid into somewhat, just a little bit of a Five Finger Death Punch fan.
It's not
over this week.
This week. When I say that, I can appreciate again what they do for other people, and that speaks volumes. You know, it actually what they do for the troops and extend that reach and write songs for them. That extends way beyond some of these superficial things that I'm referencing, and I'll admit the fault there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes this week. We'll see. I hope for the best. Yeah. I hope for the best.
So moving on, another kind of headliner for Shiprocked right now is Papa Roach. And, you know, I've seen him a couple times. I think this is going to be your first time.
This will be my first time. And they came up when we were small.
Yeah, they did.
Like what? 2001, 2002, 2003 area?
Somewhere, don't quote us, but kind of a thing. Right around there.
Yeah, not to judge us by age.
But yeah, but unfortunately for me, it was back when MTV was MTV.
Yeah, right. Back when there were videos. Cut my life into pieces.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the big ones. But they have started. I felt like personally, I didn't follow them, but I think they went into a little dip and then they came back out.
They're trying to reemerge. They're trying to make
there was some songs
statement
that I've heard recently because, like I said, I've seen them a couple of times. I think 2 other times, and it's like, yeah, that's actually a good song. And so I think I should have been following them a little bit more. I expect high things. I think it's going to be a good show.
I'm excited to see it. I am excited to see it. I like to see opportunities for myself in terms of, now I don't mean from any business perspective, thank you, and you're welcome. I like to emerge upon new opportunities in terms of music. I like to find a new favorite every time I leave an event.
And we gotta say hopefully new.
Yeah, right. And I'm not saying right. You're right. Not right. Well, and just even myself becoming a fan.
Because
I'm not a fan now.
First CD.
I could be after this weekend, and I think the live audience speaks volumes to the stage, and the stage will speak volumes to the audience. And when it's good, it's good. When it's sexy, it's hot. And when it's hot, it's nasty. And when it's nasty, it's good.
I'll say since being on Shiprocked since 2011. They have a very strong social media presence. And people, since I would even maybe say before 2011, but since I was involved, they've been pushing so hard to get Papa Roach on the boat, and I'm glad they finally did, and I think it's going to be a fantastic show.
And we'll update you on that.
Yeah, yeah.
You have my official review as being NA.
Yeah.
I have no opinion.
We're working on 2. He's going to come back with 2 new fans. So, the next big one, and there's some controversy.
3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace. Let's just bust into
Right.
it. You know, Adam, I don't even want to pronounce the lead singer.
Doesn't matter.
He
gone.
left. What an asshole.
He's
In
not
my opinion, like, I like the guy.
And I say calm down. I
like the guy,
I
but
don't
what an
like
asshole.
the teenage angst of the whole band anyway.
But
let's talk about the filler guy. Let's talk about the band as it will be on the boat.
So, because of the filler, like, Adam just left when they were about to jump on this tour. I've seen him twice.
Who knows 8, Adam?
Yeah, no disrespect, but come on, dude.
And good luck.
Better timing.
Well, good luck.
Good
luck on your solo
I don't
thing.
hate you.
But
I'm
at
definitely.
the same time, hey, calm down. Good luck on your solo thing, but at the same time,
I am definitely gonna check out your solo.
You kind of fucked up.
I'm gonna do it.
You left the band. You don't leave your men in the field.
Right. Yeah.
You don't do
right
that.
before tour. You don't do that. So I've seen him twice.
I mean, there's a professional aspect by which you have to earn respect.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of young ladies and
men, maybe
them too, that I guess follow you no matter what. But man, there is a certain nature by which you have to, a moral code. And a business code even that you have to just stay right to.
I saw him twice. One of the times was with you at Rock Jam. They showed up.
Yeah.
Their new lead singer, Matt Walst,
is the brother of the bassist,
Brad Walst, and he
the
comes
lead singer
from
of the Canadian band
My Darkest Days. And I've read a lot of bullshit about this. That like, oh, he's not as good, blah, blah. It's like, look, he isn't Adam. 1.
Right.
2.
I agree.
I don't feel like My Darkest Days is up there singing 3 Days Grace covers.
Right.
So
and let's say this. Once again. This is a man that's been put in a position that is extremely unique. He's not Adam.
Exactly.
And he's trying to make his own signature with the band.
But at the same time,
trying to re-perpetuate it. He's
a temp. It's been stated that he's a temp. So he's just like, I'm here to entertain. And, you know, he's entertaining. It's not a shit show.
It's not. It doesn't
suck. It's great.
It doesn't suck.
Yeah, and I've done a review on the show that I saw. It was Shine Dan and POD that played with him. And, you know, my personal opinion, stay with the band and just do both My Darkest Days and 3 Days Grace.
I think My Darkest Days, I mean, let's be honest. My Darkest Days has really the one hit, the stripper song or porno dancing or whatever it is, right? That's their one,
Most
at least
people
in
know that
America, the one mainstream hit, if it's even mainstream. And, you know, my feeling is good on him for embarking on a new thing with a good band. I mean, he's got a lot of musical talent behind him, and he doesn't sound bad. The band is cohesive.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good sounding band.
Yeah.
I don't like the message, once again. I'll go back to this.
Right,
I think the teenage angst, like, I want to commit suicide, my whole life is so bad, my parents are terrible, my ex-girlfriend left me. Like, I'm kind of a little bit more like, hey, like, let's fucking do better, trying harder, just, you know, suck less. And, I mean, that's my feeling, but, you know, as a band goes, they also have a prominent marketplace, and people like them, and that's what it is. And why do people like them? Because they can relate to the message.
Yep.
Me, I'm not one of them.
You want to gain fans, get people that relate to your message.
I don't like their message, but they have them.
If you're not a fan of the message, write music that makes you have to love the message.
But once again, and I will take this opportunity to re-quote Robert Marley. What must be will
Goddamn
be.
Marley. So, 3 Days Grace. Yeah, I expect good things out of that show. It's going to be fantastic.
We'll see.
Okay. Sevendust. Come on, people. Why is Sevendust not big? They've been around forever. You have Morgan Rose on their goddamn drums.
I know why.
Why? Tell me.
I know why.
Tell me.
Because they're incredibly talented and people haven't caught up yet.
Right?
They're extremely
They're a little,
sexy.
like,
They
before
do
their
good
time,
work.
right?
They kind of are. And, you know, you have to know, you have to like a Sevendust, and you have to know the distinction between the Sevendust and any other band. They are a hard, gritty, gnarly, dirty-ass band. They like to rock, and they like to rock really hard. They're not about really a message. They're about jamming.
They have some message.
Yeah, sure, they have
if
some.
You dive in.
Yeah, I mean, and so does a postage stamp. But, I mean, they're out there to fucking rock. That's what they want to do. It's more about instrumentals in the field. They're about the vibration. They're about injecting the sound of music, not the musical,
right.
but injecting the sound of their music. And it's not about a message, it's about the vibe, is my feeling. What do you think about that?
We speak often about loving bands, like between ourselves, obviously, about bands that love us. And you have to love a band that loves you. It happens. And this band, John, they love the fans. Out of all the bands.
You have to have appreciation for that.
Recently, I've seen them numerous times, but one that sticks out is they were right before Cold Chamber. Freaking LeJean Witherspoon, the lead singer, just started coming to tears when he talked about the appreciation that he has for the fans that showed up. And it's like, if you have that passion,
anything else.
Come on.
Nothing else.
This is going to be their third time on Shiprocked.
Like, I would fucking cry watching that myself.
Right.
Like, fuck your fucking Brokeback Mountain or whatever it is, and like little kids and shit in movies. Like, fucking when a guy on stage, or even a woman on stage, comes to tears for their
and
fans,
a guy that's like supposed to be hardcore. You know, he's not allowed to cry.
You know what? Anybody these days, is my point, that comes to grasp to say that you as the fans are the only reason I exist, and that brings them to tears, and the appreciation flows through their eyes.
You gotta love that.
There's no bigger message. You can't appreciate it.
The big kicker that I love, it's different, because I've seen him a couple times. We saw him at Rock Jam. I saw him on, like I said, this third time on Shiprocked.
Sex puppet?
What?
Really?
It's Sevendust.
What?
They're gonna do one of their shows is gonna be a acoustic set. And that's gonna be fantastic. Like, just something a little different to mix it up. I'm looking forward so much to that acoustic set.
Check it
I want to see what they're gonna bring out.
Yeah. Scoot back.
The next band that's gonna be on there's Candlebox, and you know, I'm surprised that they're back. They were in 2011, which is the year you missed. Kevin, the lead singer, he freaked out on their last performance. Understandably. You know, it was a late performance and just so many technical difficulties. Like, he played a nice little acoustic thing. It wasn't picking up acoustic, so he just lifted up the guitar and played it into the mic. Just all kinds of shit.
That's irritating. As an artist, that's irritating.
It is. And he freaked out. He destroyed a mic stand, just beat the shit out of it on the ground, fucked off. And the rest
what else are you going to do? You're out there at a premium, trying to play a good show, and the technical fucking shit doesn't work, so everyone hates you. You're the fucking enemy.
Yep.
No, fuck that.
No, fuck that shit. And I understand, and it's like, understandable. That was my first time, 2011, seeing them. I liked it. I was surprised. I was like, Candlebox? Okay, I wasn't really big into them, but they did a good show. You know, what you haven't seen before, right?
I've never seen them. No. It's new.
So,
new to me.
We'll check them out. This will be the second time. I anticipate something good. I anticipate better technology. Alright, so the big one. You love them. I used to love them. I used to say, that's going to be my future ex-wife right there.
And I do
moment, ran into him when I spent a stint in DC. And loved him. Fucking loved him. Went to every concert I could. I ate it up. What killed it is last year at Shiprocked. This is going to be their third time at Shiprocked. And this is my beef. I'm going to let you know. This is my beef. So, Shiprocked, fantastic. You get meet and greets. Free of charge. They take a picture for you by a professional photographer. What more can you ask for?
You can't.
So I stand in fucking line 3 hours to see all these bands and get my picture taken with them.
You stand in line for 3 hours?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And some of you are going to be saying that's crazy, but hey, man.
I'm one of them.
hey man, the point of Shiprocked is the interaction with the artist. I can go to their show anytime I want when they come through Denver. How many times can you get a picture with them and interact with them? And In This Moment is one of those ones that doesn't come out very often on Shiprocked to interact with the fans. So I'm like, and I'm not one of those assholes that's just like, hey, I know
Hey, guy.
this is your vacation. Take a picture with me. Yeah. No, I don't want to bug them while they're on vacation. This is their allotted time where I can bug them.
I disagree with that.
But
like, fuck them anyway. They're performing.
It's a
no
fine
matter
line.
where you find them. No, they don't like it. They're not showmen. And that's my opinion.
It's a fine line. I see it and I don't see it. Last year,
I don't see it at all.
Last year had some issues where like Ivan and Sully from Five Finger Death or Godsmack was gambling, poker, and people walked up and bugged them. You don't mess with somebody while they're playing a card game. You just don't.
Well,
I don't
if
care.
you're in Godsmack, you deserve a kick in the ass.
Well, you know, if you're Nikki Sixx, you don't like those guys. But anywho, so I stand in line for 3 hours. They buzz off. I don't get a picture with those guys. They fuck off and bounce. Fine, whatever. I address my dissatisfaction in a very respectful manner on Facebook. So they block me on Facebook. I wasn't being vulgar. I was just like, hey man, I stood in line for 3 hours. All I need is the tiniest of explanation. Like, hey, I ate some bad guacamole. I had to shit. Well, I don't care. Just 3 hours that I could have been enjoying my vacation. So I addressed the band members, and they're like, "Oh no, we'll get you unblocked. It's cool." They didn't, and I love this band so much until that point, and I felt like they reached the point that it was like, we're famous. Kind of fuck the fans.
Yeah. And that's too bad, 'cause they're really not
that's
that
what
big.
It hurts me so much because
I mean,
they have
they've gone
good music.
mainstream now. I mean, they have blood.
Their latest CD is really good, and I really wanted to do a review on it, but I felt like I couldn't because I was so biased because of that situation.
Yeah, you know, and I hate that. I do.
And it's like, right?
I mean,
He's gonna bring this out.
Just pointed out. I mean, this is this is the girl.
This guy, you know.
The guy.
This girl right here.
Let me get some more propaganda.
They're serious. This goes everywhere. If you're wondering, our little set is everywhere. Yeah, it's like.
I mean, so the whole band, obviously,
and
to my right.
You can't see, but up there is one. There's drumsticks.
The point is, the guy's a big fan.
I like these. I love these guys.
For years, long time,
years.
actually. Years and years and years.
Since they first started, actually.
When they were small time cats, upcoming.
The only thing, there was one legitimate complaint that I had about Shiprocked last year. She started, Maria Brink started wearing a headset when she sang. You start doing that, I feel like it's a little poppy. You start to be a little Lady Gaga.
Fucking stupid.
And it's one of those things that when I first saw this band live, there's this nice little blonde that hops out in a nice Alice in Wonderland skirt. And then you're like, what the fuck is this? She grabs on the mic, and then the instruments play, and she's like, and she just fucking headbangs and growls, and that mic was like her grounding point. She just wailed on it. Yeah! And prior, she had mic stands that had like, dead baby heads and just like all this bullshit.
Back in the day.
Sweetheart. And so
what the fuck is this now?
It's gonna be a different show. I think it's still enjoyable. From what I've seen, I think their first go was kind of Shiprocked last year. It was a little slow because she does costume changes, and other bands do that. I think she just hadn't mastered it. I expect a quicker turnaround between songs. There's a little bit of downtime and you lost the crowd. I think she brought it together, and I expect this to be a good performance. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. I am. Not even of their most recent album. In fact, my favorite song by them is "Beautiful Tragedy."
First
that's
CD.
my
First
absolute
CD.
favorite, and that's when they were still real small time. And I mean, it sucks as a fan to be let down. Just in the appreciation mode.
Yeah.
That's the worst. That's the worst. It doesn't get worse than that. I mean, you can go to a show, you can hear some reasonable music, but when you feel let down in terms of the perspective of the band to the fan, it's an obliteration. You really suddenly lose your
Breaks
momentum.
my heart.
It does.
Breaks my heart.
It'll do that.
I love blondes. So, well, they're gaining a lot of ground. I'm not surprised that they're up higher on the stands these years. Next band, The Halo Method.
Don't know anything about them.
Most people don't, and honored, I guess. I would maybe you say that. Last Shiprocked 2012 was their first time performing live. So this band is Ben Moody from Evanescence on the guitar. Lukas, I don't really know how to say his nice name. I'm gonna say Rossi is Rossi.
Let me see it.
Hey, that guy.
It's Rossi.
A lot of women love this guy. He was on the Rockstar Supernova reality TV show. He's a pretty good guy, and nothing against him. And Dave Buckner originally was the drummer, and he's the old drummer from Papa Roach. I've heard they recently left the band. Last year him and Ben Moody kind of started it, and they picked up Lukas, and then they grabbed a bassist to kind of fill in for that jazz. But due to logistics of location problems, apparently he's no longer their drummer, which, interesting, since Dave Buckner used to play for Papa Roach, and now Papa Roach is on the cruise, might be a situation where it's nice that he's not there. But they replaced him with Miles McPherson from Paramore. Probably a great drummer. I expect he'll be fine. And then Josh Newell was the bassist they picked up. He played a little bit with In This Moment. I'm not sure how much. I love In This Moment, but I don't necessarily follow all the band members. He obviously isn't the current one. I expect him to be on the cruise, so it should be good. It was a little weird because it's one of those bands that nobody knew anything.
This is not about the Halo Method.
Okay.
Do you know about the Rossi family?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
They have a legacy.
Okay.
There's a movie, and this is stupid, I know. They came out recently about the Rossi family exorcism.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know about that?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're related?
Well, it's a lineage. I'm just saying that the Rossi. It brings a note to my mind, and the Rossi family. There was the mishap by which the alleged mother of a 25-year-old woman in the current time became possessed by what I believe 4 demonic presences and had murdered an entire priesthood in her own house, and was relocated to Italy outside of the Vatican regulatory facility, and was reinvestigated, so on and so forth, and the demons passed on and everybody died, which is interesting to me. I just, again, not saying there's a real relation. I mean, the last name doesn't mean shit. Could be
you never
Rex
know.
Smith. But Rossi, that's how you pronounce it. It's Rossi.
We'll roll with that. That's interesting tidbit.
Yeah.
So,
we'll get on a boat with these guys.
Right? This fucking exorcist family. What the fuck? Go ship. The next band. And I love to rub it in this guy's face. I'm gonna steal this little morsel. Fuck these guys.
That's a shame.
Alright, I love it rubbing this guy's face. He missed 2011 Shiprocked. He paid for it. He didn't go. They, one of the big names was supposed to be Living Colour. And I was like, what? Living Colour? Okay, Cult of Personality, what it is. But just that situation, I guess it didn't really affect me, but 2011 we held the boat so that Living Colour could come on. And then out of nowhere they're like, oh, we're not going to make it. It's almost like we're going to make it like we didn't buy the plane tickets. Like we had no intention of making it. So I'm a little surprised they were brought back on the boat. I believe they benefited from the fact that a couple bands dropped out. And I think they might have filled one of the spots of Lacuna Coil was supposed to be on the boat this year. For whatever reason, they were unable to make it. Oddly, another, like an Italian band. Speaking of Exorcism. Yeah. So, it was supposed to be their second time. This will be the first. We'll see how it goes. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Living Colour, yeah.
I've never seen them. I know the select few singles, and that's all I got.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They really haven't had anything new. I know they toured on a little anniversary tour, but I didn't partake, didn't hear anything of it.
They have mileage. I mean, they've been around.
They've been around. So, one that I'm very excited about is Tremonti. And I haven't seen them. I passed up some opportunities because they're down in Colorado Springs. That's just a little bit too far for me to go, unless you're a really good band. It's Mark Tremonti's solo band. This guy, seriously, how much talent do you have to be? He is the lead guitarist for Creed. Now, granted, Creed hasn't really put out anything recently.
That's since the 90s, yeah.
And he's the lead guitarist for Alter Bridge that is actively putting out music. And you just got so much pent-up music that you're like, fuck it, I'm going to put out my solo shit. And so, he's the lead guitar and vocalist for Tremonti. And as of when they recorded their first their first CD, Brian Marshall, also from Creed, was playing bass for those recordings. Supposedly, during their touring, was Wolfgang Van Halen was playing bass for them. I'm curious if he's going to show up on the boat or who's going to play bass for them. It would be interesting if Mr. Van Halen's son was on the boat.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of endeavors going on, and he has for many a year, and if you were to make a presence on the boat, that in itself would be a show.
Right, and
I mean, it's the legacy of a legend.
Exactly, and right now, he's a good bassist. It's Eddie Van Halen's son, Jesus. But I've seen him play, unfortunately for Mike Anthony, he is the bassist for Van Halen currently. And I can understand from a father-son relationship, you do want to play with your son, but it's Michael Anthony that you've been playing with for years. Why did you ditch him for your son? It is what it is. I think he's a great bassist. I'm interested in seeing. The slight tidbit, a couple years ago, running through Best Buy, saw this random CD that said Tremonti on it, and it looked like there's signatures on it. It's like, what is this? And as you can see from this part of the room, and there's a lot more of it, I like signatures, and it's like, wait, are those real? Best Buy exclusive, apparently, signed Tremonti CDs just on sale. Well, fuck me, I bought that. So, we'll see. I do like the CD. I haven't seen them in person. We'll see. Blackstone Cherry. They're gonna join the boat. They missed, I believe it was last year, because one of them was having a baby. Understandable. You gotta attend to that kind of stuff. I've seen them twice. I think this will be your second time we saw them at Rock Jam this year. I think they'll do pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has certain potential, and and that's the thing about Rock Boat too. Shiprocked is that it's the sets are a bit shorter.
Yeah,
sets are a bit shorter, but they also play multiple times on schedule. So
typically every band gets 2 times. Typically.
Right. For what? About 45 minutes to an hour.
It really depends on what slot.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of energy comes out. It's easy to come out as a band that's established like that and just play a set. And 45-minute set, no problem. Just get in, get out.
Rock Jam, I wasn't disappointed. I thought
they played a good show.
And I really don't have anything bad to say about these guys, but we'll see. I haven't heard any new music from them. I would really like to hear that. So next up, this band's been around too long, and I believe I think it's a Fort Lauderdale, but definitely a Florida band, Nonpoint. I've seen them a couple times. This is their second time on Shiprocked. In 2011, when In This Moment played, right before Shiprocked, they lost their backing band. So effectively, you can kind of say that In This Moment is Maria Brink and Chris on guitar. They normally come up with the songs. The rest of the band just kind of fucked off. I think maybe the bassist stayed, but they filled in with Nonpoint. So Nonpoint was on drums, backup guitar, and then there's a duet, The Promise, which now otherwise is a bigger band, but before they were big, he sang the duet with In This Moment. The lead singer of Nonpoint, Elias, I don't have the name in front of me, but I think that's what it is. He sang the duet. I hung out with him in Mexico. Great guy. So effectively the band was on the first, like the 2011 Shiprocked, but they didn't play as Nonpoint. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think this is going to be your first time, right?
Yeah. I have no experience or exposure.
They've been around for a while. We'll see what they bring. I'm excited for Love and Death. They've come through 1 or 2 times through the Denver area. It's the solo band started by Brian Head Welch from Korn. And the great thing is, like, Head rejoined Korn, which was kind of out of the blue because he left kind of a Flaming Glory. And I saw Korn at Rock Jam. I think you submitted to not. For your own personal reasons. I'm one of those guys that Korn, I've bought every one of their CDs. Like, you people that download CDs illegally, stop it, because Metallica hates it. But, I support Korn and everything they do, and I'm excited to see Head rejoin the band. And Korn was on the cruise last year. I'm not surprised to see Head. Like, typically, what you see is, like, 1 or 2 members are in some fashion on the cruise, and then they kind of convince their band that, hey, you should do this. Let's do this. Art of Dying, a Canadian band.
There you go.
Fucking Canadians. Right? Canadians. Who else is Canadian? Nickelback.
Fucking Canadians.
Justin
Bieber.
Fucking Canadian.
Justin Bieber.
Theory of a Dead Man. Fucking Canadians. No. Canadians, you're fine. But Art of Dying.
Justin Bieber.
I expect them to be good. It's one of those odd things that I think they played at some Bieber. They played at some Mayhem Fests. Unfortunately, Mayhem is so packed that I haven't seen them perform. I did a little YouTubing. I think they're going to be great. I think that's one of those sleeper bands for me that I'm going to come back as a fan. And I think you will too.
Justin Bieber.
Biebs. You Bieber Feeders. National treasure in Canada. Young Guns. Across the ocean. This British band. I've seen them before. I expected good things. And in the US, we've got some radio play from them. It wasn't impressive. And I think it's one of those things, their encore is going to be their song that everybody knows, and that's when you're going to be like, oh, that's the Young Guns. But, come on, guys. I need a little bit more. You have to have those filler bands. I hate to say it, but I think those are one of those guys. And they have talent. They're not a shitty band. They just need to have better material. Moving on, the Crash Kings. God, I've seen these guys a long time ago. In a little venue in Denver.
Time ago.
Well, not that long.
But
pretty long, I mean, it was probably, it was after 2008. After 2008. I'm not going to say I was disappointed by them, but we'll see how they do.
They're an 90s band.
Well,
that's what they are.
I feel like they're on the 90s kick, but they're a 2000 band. I think they formed in 2006, but we'll see. I mean,
really?
They're from LA, and unfortunately at the time I thought they were from New York, so, Alright, Butcher Babies, come on. If you
There's
guys
gonna be a lot
have
of tits. There's gonna be a lot of tits.
so much.
There's gonna be some fake blood, a lot of corn syrup dyed red.
There's so much to
There's tits all over everyone's
There's so
face.
much to speak about female lead
That's gonna
singers.
go.
You got 2 of them.
I mean, and
they're well
they
endowed.
They don't really sing as much as they just shake their tits around.
For
scream. They
me,
scream.
for me, yeah. When you shake your boobies, I don't.
You're singing.
Yeah, you're singing to my eyes.
You're doing good.
My eyes are like, I'm entertained. What?
Yeah. I mean, there's
Because my ears shut off.
Just tits.
I don't have enough.
Right.
I don't have enough energy
sensory. I
to
understand.
supplement my ears.
Yeah, you have to speak
Nah,
one or the other.
but their latest CD, I heard a couple tracks. I think it's gonna be good, but oh yeah, they're gonna be, as we say,
They're gonna be naked.
They're gonna be
We're
dirty.
gonna be.
I hope.
Naked.
All I've seen in the past
that.
is like shirtless with a little electrical tape. You can't hate electrical.
Yeah,
shit.
well, and it does not conduct electricity.
But we'll see.
That's the important part.
That's
And
another.
then naked is the second part.
I think that's another sleeper band that they're gonna be better than their looks.
Do you really think?
I think so. I really do.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be terrible. They're gonna be naked though. That's gonna be the
We'll
high
see.
point.
We'll see. In the post Shiprocked, we'll figure out.
Yeah, well.
Scorpion Child with a name like that, I expect. I don't know. I just feel like this is like an '80s band. I haven't heard an ounce.
I just feel like
of their music.
Just bring it. Let's
No,
just
you
sing.
think? Yeah.
Just bring it.
Yeah.
Like fucking suck less. Just do better.
They're an Austin band, and I have found that bands out of Austin work hard for their money. Like,
Well, yeah.
I think they'll do
It's
good.
either that or like, yeah. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of options.
I'm not gonna hate on them, but I just don't
No,
know.
you
I
shouldn't
just
hate
don't
on
know
them.
anything about them.
They
All
could
right,
be
so,
great. You know,
I've
we could be
heard-
talking about them in 2 years and
We-
be like they're
we might.
headlining.
We might.
You know.
Wilson is a band that's been getting a lot of buzz on the social media for Shiprocked. They're a Detroit band, and I just have to read this from their little website. Wilson is not a fucking internet band, as you say. They're 5 dudes in a van with beards and big dicks, working hard than your parents. When Wilson's van enters your town, that shit is real. Real music, real life, real loud, real sweaty, and real fucking fun. You know, just looking at their pictures and that kind of message.
Sounds like some shit.
No, I expect a lot of this.
Sounds
band.
like some shit. Me
I think
too.
I think I'm gonna be very
Me too.
entertained.
It sounds like some bullshit. It sounds like someone's trying to upcharge their fucking musical abilities.
We'll see.
And we'll see. We'll see. If they can back it up, sure. Hey, look, NFL. Richard Sherman goes off shooting off his fucking mouth.
Right.
But the guy can back it up. If
He
they can
can.
back that shit up, good on them.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just a bunch of fucking boners.
Yeah, Broncos. American Fangs. No idea. I looked
None.
a little bit into it. I ain't got all the time in the
Could be
day.
interesting.
We'll see. Same as Digital Summer. Like, I don't know. I've heard good things, but we'll see how those kids go.
However, Andy Wood. Here's the great thing
Excited about
Andy Wood.
Andy Wood.
Andy Wood isn't doing anything for anybody except for he's helping you.
Yeah.
He's a people helper. He's a guy. He's just some fucking guy. He's a fucking guy.
He's a fucking guy.
He's just some fucking guy. He's out there. He's playing fucking what? Karaoke song?
Yeah, I saw these guys.
Mm.
I think it was last year. It might be 2 years by now. He does the live karaoke act. The only intimidating fact on that is when you have live karaoke, you run into situations like the lead singer from Fuel.
Forrest Whitaker.
And it's not Forrest Whitaker, but it's close. Different color.
Felt like it was close.
He rolls up. He's on drums. And then Phil from Filter is on bass. You really want to walk up and just try and sing some karaoke with that
I do
talent?
want that. I do.
I'm scared.
I want that.
I'm fucking
All
scared.
that. No, come on.
Ah.
You got the best behind you anyway. They're expecting you to fuck up.
What was awesome about that situation is veteran Matt Pinfield from MTV back in the day. He was a host. I don't know why he's not in 2014. We should have brought that motherfucker back. He sang some songs. It's like that guy. That guy knows some shit. He's a rocker on and off. Like, he knows everything. That guy, hands up. Andy Wood, though, yeah. Good up there. Don't be a pussy like me. Sing some shit.
As well.
Tory Stoffregen, I think that's the second time he's on there. He is always like an early morning act. Like, wake up with some Monster Java and enjoy a little Tory. I don't know what he's going to bring. He's like the lead singer and guitarist to a power country band called the New Black Seven, and he also does a little fill-in. Like, he shreds a lot of the 80s with Enough's Enough. I don't know what to expect from him. I don't expect us to actually see that kid, because we're not getting up early.
No, probably not.
We ain't going to do that. Jim Breuer, like, God, apparently this guy loves metal. I don't know what he's going to bring on the ship. Is he going to bring his metal band? Who knows? I don't know. He's a funny comedian. Most people know him from Half Baked. He's the white guy that's like quitting his job. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? And you know, the dyke comes with him. Of course she does. But he also has a comedian element to him. I feel like we're going to get both. I hope we do get both. I'm excited about that one. Big Jay Oakerson is also joining our little comedy troupe, if you will. He was on the boat last year, or I guess 2012. Dude, I could barely breathe. He was funny as fuck. It doesn't, I mean, it helps his case that he goes on at like 1 a.m. Everything's funny at 1 a.m. when you're drunk, but he's going to be good. I'm excited for that. I think maybe at the same time, Neil Sanderson is going to do a little DJ set. Neil is actually the drummer for 3 Days Grace. You know, I'm not in love with that kind of thing, but last year the lead singer to Lit, he also did a DJ set. I think this is going to be fun for people that are just ending the evening with a little bit of drinkage. So that's something to look forward to. Hell's Bells Burlesque show is going to be nasty, explicit, and it's not safe for kids. Don't bring your kids. You know, they're going to even have a workshop on the boat. Like, go...
don't do that.
No, go send your wife, and she's going to teach you a little thing in the bedroom that this is how you bring sexy back. A little Timberlake, you know, action.
Except for way worse.
Well, it depends on your wife. But it's going to be interesting. I'm a little excited for it. I'm going to try and make a snippet of that. It'll be fun. And the last thing that's notable on the boat is DJ Lippy Rage. I don't know a goddamn thing, but that's another one.
Like, bring it, son.
Yeah, entertain me.
Just do good.
It's going to be late.
Suck less.
I'm going to be drunk and trying harder. So that is Shiprocked 2014, my friends. Oh my God.
I want you to know something. We have to reshoot that whole thing.
No, we don't. Don't listen to this guy.
No.
Cheers,
really,
motherfucker.
Seriously.
No, cheers it.
I'm just saying, we have to redo all that.
No. Fuck you guys. Enjoy that shit.
Hey,
stay tuned for the post.